terrorists or traitors. Marcus thought about Johnson's final words about David's sacrifice, about all the soldiers who had died to protect Hayes' operation. Not if we have a witness. He pulled out the blood-stained notebook Rivera had given him back at the aid station. In the chaos of the escape, he had forgotten about it. Now he opened it and found exactly what he had hoped for. Detailed notes about Hayes' operation, written in Rivera's careful handwriting. Names, dates, financial records, everything needed to corroborate the electronic evidence. But more importantly, the notebook contained something else. A list of journalists, congressional investigators, and military officers that Rivera's team had identified as trustworthy. People who could be contacted if the mission went wrong. Marcus spoke into Rivera's satellite phone. This is Staff Sergeant Marcus Chen, U.S. Navy Medical Corps. I'm uploading evidence of a massive conspiracy involving the sale of American weapons and intelligence to enemy forces. The conspiracy involves Colonel Hayes, Captain Morrison, and General Morrison of Pentagon Procurement. He could hear Rivera's voice echoing down from above as she did the same thing, broadcasting their story to multiple recipients simultaneously. Between the two of them, they were ensuring that the truth would reach people who could act on it. The pursuing soldiers were getting closer. Marcus could hear them arguing about which passage to take. In 2 minutes, the whole cave system would collapse, taking everyone inside with it. Rivera, you need to get out of there now. Upload complete. I'm climbing. Marcus made his own escape plan. The passage he had come through led back to Hayes in the main cave,
with oranges,
which would be ground zero when the charges detonated. But there were other passages leading deeper into the mountain. If he could find one that led to the surface, a rifle shot echoed through the chamber, followed by Rivera's cry of pain.
My dad made it.
Marcus looked up the chimney and could see her silhouetted against the daylight, but she wasn't moving. Blood was dripping down from above. Rivera, I'm okay, she called back weakly. Just winged me. Impossible. Marcus's shoulders burned as he pulled himself upward, his medical kit banging against the stone walls. Above him, Rivera was trying to help, reaching down with her good arm. 30 seconds. Marcus reached Rivera just as Hayes' soldiers entered the chamber below. Gunfire erupted, bullets ricocheting off the walls around them. Marcus grabbed Rivera around the waist and continued climbing, using his legs to push off the walls while his arms pulled them both upward. 15 seconds. They burst out of the chimney into a rocky ledge high above the valley. Marcus could see Hayes'
Oh, the tomatoes look so good.
vehicles racing away from the cave system.
Wow.
Marcus grabbed Rivera with his legs as the rifle exploded beneath them. The detonation was massive, much larger than Marcus had expected. Hayes hadn't just set charges on David's cave. He brought down the entire network of passages. Collapsed inward, sealing off everything David had discovered. But it was too late. The evidence was already uploaded.
That one was not one of the chosen.
In the hands of investigators who couldn't be bought or intimidated. Rivera managed a weak smile as they lay on the ledge, watching the dust cloud rise from the destruction below. Your brother would be proud. Marcus pulled out and faced whatever consequences awaited them. But first, he opened David's laptop one more time.
Why
and
do you
looked at his
have
brother's final video
a
message.
pot of cut
David
tomatoes
had said
and
something
a
that Marcus was only
pot
now
of
beginning to understand.
uncut
The truth
tomatoes?
doesn't belong to the people who discover it.
tomato
David's
sauce.
image said.
I'm making tomato
It belongs
sauce.
to everyone who has the courage to share it. 6 months later, Marcus stood in a congressional hearing room, watching as General Morrison was led away in handcuffs. Hayes had died from his morphine overdose in the collapsed cave. But Morrison and 17 other conspirators had been arrested based on the evidence David had gathered. Rivera sat beside him, her arm still in a sling, but her voice strong as she testified about the conspiracy that had cost so many lives. Williams had survived his injuries and was scheduled to testify the following week. The scandal had rocked the Pentagon and led to massive reforms in weapons procurement and oversight. Dozens of families finally had answers about how their loved ones had really died, and new safeguards were in place to prevent future betrayals. Marcus carried David's photograph in his wallet now, along with a small piece of stone from the Valley of the Stone Dogs. Every morning, he looked at both and remembered that some truths were worth dying for. But more importantly, some truths were worth living for. The hearing recessed for lunch, and Marcus stepped outside into the Washington sunshine. Somewhere out there, other other soldiers were serving their country with honor, trusting that the people leading them shared their commitment to protecting America and its values. Thanks to David's sacrifice and the courage of people like Rivera, Johnson, and Williams, that trust was a little more justified today than it had been yesterday. And sometimes, Marcus thought as he walked down the steps of the Capitol building, that was the best any soldier could hope for, to leave the world a little more honest than they found it. The truth had finally come home. Sarah Martinez wiped the grease from her hands as she finished installing the new transmission in the armored vehicle. The desert heat in Afghanistan was unbearable, even at 7 in the morning. She had been working since 5, making sure every piece of equipment was perfect before the team headed out on their mission. At 26, Sarah was the youngest mechanic on the base, but she was also the best. She could fix anything with wheels, tracks, or rotors. The Navy SEALs trusted her completely with their lives, knowing that when she worked on the vehicles, they would never break down in the field. Martinez, how's that Humvee looking? Called out Lieutenant Commander Jake Thompson, the team leader. He was tall, muscular, with sharp blue eyes that missed nothing. Sarah had been working with his team for 8 months now, and they had become like family to her. She's purring like a kitten, sir, Sarah replied, closing the hood with a satisfying clunk. New transmission, fresh oil, and I reinforced the armor plating on the passenger side. You're good to go. The mission was supposed to be routine. Intelligence had located a high-value target in a village 30 miles north of the base.
Wow, that's heavy.
The plan was simple. Get in, capture the target, and get out before sunrise. Sarah watched as the 8-man SEAL team loaded their gear into 2 vehicles. You know the drill, Martinez, said Petty Officer First Class Mike Rodriguez, the team's demolitions expert. If we're not back by noon, we'll start worrying. He grinned, but Sarah could see the tension in his eyes.
Where are you going with that pot?
Towards deployment. And he knew better than anyone that
I'll just put it down
away
eventually.
going sideways fast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sarah
Take-
had wanted to be a
Do you want
soldier
help
once.
lifting it?
No.
She had grown up in a military
I
family in
have a lot
Texas,
more to put in
where
it.
her father had
okay.
served 3 tours in Iraq, but an injury during basic training had ended those dreams, leaving her with a permanent limp in her left leg. Instead of giving up, she had channeled her determination into becoming the best mechanic the military had ever seen. As the convoy
Guess who I
pulled
saw
out of the
at
base,
Albertsons
Sarah
today?
felt a familiar knot in her stomach.
I saw Marilyn.
She always worried when the teams went out, but something about
Marilyn?
this mission felt different. The intelligence was too clean,
Oh.
too
Oh,
perfect.
Marilyn.
In
Yeah.
her experience, when things seemed
Yeah.
too good to be true in Afghanistan, they usually were. The radio crackled to life around 10 in the morning.
I saw her walking, and I tried to call out to her. I was in my car.
Thompson's voice was
She didn't
calm
hear
and
me.
professional, but
So
Sarah could hear the
I
underlying
parked,
tension.
and there was a parking spot
Servicing the other vehicles,
really close by.
her hands moved
But
automatically, checking through
even though I was really fast,
her mind was focused on
she
the radio.
was even
The
faster.
base was unusually quiet, with
I
most
just
of the
about
personnel
missed her
either
because
on
she was
patrol or
walking
catching
so
up on sleep.
fast.
At 11:30, the radio came alive again, but this time the transmission was broken and filled with static. Base, this is heavy contact. Need immediate extraction. The voice was barely recognizable, distorted by interference and the sound of gunfire in the background. Colonel Marcus Webb, the base commander, rushed into the communications center. Sarah followed, her heart racing. She'd never heard panic in Thompson's voice before, and the sound chilled her to the bone. Alpha team, this is base. Please repeat your last transmission. The radio operator called out. There was no response, just the static of an open channel and the distant sound of automatic weapons fire. Sarah's mind raced as she listened to the broken communications. She knew those men better than anyone. Thompson was like a big brother to her. Rodriguez had shown her pictures of his newborn daughter just last week. Petty Officer Williams always brought her coffee when she worked late shifts. The rescue teams were already being assembled, but Sarah